All right, guys, what's up? Welcome to another edition of the Creampuff and Jeffro show. Actually, the first new episode of the Creampuff and Jeffro show. Now that I think about it, because we just did a review last time.
Correct.
So, I'm Creampuff, and he is,
Jeffro.
and we're just gonna get into some of the topics of the week. We don't have any notes. We're just gonna wing it because
Listen, we have
that's
no
how
idea
we
what we're
roll.
doing.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. So, anything you want to talk about before we get into any of the big things?
Not really anything big in particular. Honestly, it's been kind of a slow week since the lackluster Night of Champions. So, not really.
Yeah, yeah. We're recording this before SmackDown, so maybe something exciting happens on there.
Which
But
it
I
won't.
guess we'll start. Well, I guess we'll start with the
Actually,
biggest,
actually,
biggest news from.
I'd like to put out one thing though. You do bring up SmackDown, which to me is an interesting point. Now, I'm not a spoiler guy, so I stay off like spoiler sites and all that kind of stuff. But I do love how like out of crazy all these everyone's getting with like, oh they recorded SmackDown right after Raw and everything's spoiled and yada 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 bullshit. It's like the the amount of people that like don't remember what wrestling used to be like before social media, before all that. Everything was just rumored and spoiled, and YouTube just took everything over. I miss the old days of just zero spoilers for everything. But
I tell you what. I tell you what. We're doing a podcast now, and originally we started this podcast when we were like 17,
mm-hmm.
and obviously never posted anything. Well, we recorded it, but if there was a world without podcast, if I can go back to 2007 to 2010,
Yes.
I'd be so much more happier.
Yes.
Like if I could just go to the grocery store or Walmart or whatever and pick up a wrestling magazine and actually learn something new about wrestling, like people that weren't in WWE or whatever. Because that's what I used to do, and then the internet came along, and well, it was around, but no one was really using it until like the mid
N-
2010s for the most part. And honestly, everybody we've gone through cycles, which with wrestling fans, like in like 2016, 17, 18 was the perv era, I'd say, of the fandom, where like you couldn't go on any fan site or fan page of a wrestling promotion or whatever without seeing them posting the women's asses and all that shit. And
mm-hmm.
now now we're in the political era where fucking you can have one of the biggest podcasts interview Kane about his career as a wrestler, and he had to take his interview with Kane down because why'd you give him so many softball questions when he's a fucking Nazi? And I'm like, because I want to hear about his wrestling career. I want to hear about stories. He's a wrestler, or was a wrestler, on a
Right.
wrestling podcast. I don't care what he's doing in Knoxville, Tennessee, to be honest. If I want to
Listen.
know that, I'll log on to a news site for Knox County, Tennessee.
Yeah, honestly, like that's that. I love that because it's like, yeah, it's like it doesn't matter if it's wrestling, you know, if it's any kind of sports, football, yada yada, whatever. It's like at the end of the day, we watch all this stuff just to like escape from reality, and like there's a point where you just separate. You separate the man from the works, and it's really not that hard to do. But like the funny part is like the people who say that kind of stuff is like, oh well, you support this athlete even though he did the yada 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 or whatever. But it's the same people who watch TV shows that have no idea what any of those people today watch, especially lots of popular ones, like the messed up stuff they do behind the camera. So it's like just because
Oh,
something's a lot more public, I mean,
dude,
it's the pot calling the kettle black on a lot of things with that.
I'm so glad you said this because I was thinking about how I was going to bring this up. Uh, as you know, I was a bigger wrestling fan than you as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
growing up to be a teenager, and up until I was 21, I was convinced. I was like, I can be a wrestler. I can be a wrestler. But like I said, I wish I could go back to being completely ignorant about stuff that goes on behind the curtain in the
Oh,
wrestling business,
absolutely.
because since I've become an adult and actually looked more into this, the wrestling business is a scummy business, and a lot of wrestlers are freaking degenerates.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But like you've got some good guys and all that, but fucking it seems like every week or especially back in 2020, everybody was coming out with this guy did this or this person did that, or
Mm-hmm.
you hear some shit they did back in the 90s where fucking, well, in 2000, what was it, 2004 or 5, Randy Orton shit in Melina's bag, I think.
I don't remember that,
Yeah,
but I'm gonna take your word
yeah,
for that one because that's a Randy Orton thing to do.
yeah. It's this wrestling business is full of scumbags, and especially fucking. I don't want to get on my high horse about all this, but I'm glad I never got into it, and I know people in like groups I'm a part of that are wrestlers, and I'm sure they're really nice people. But the wrestling business it's one of those businesses that just brings in broken people,
Mm-hmm.
because
Oh, absolutely.
you gotta have a couple screws loose if you're throwing yourself at the ground for fucking,
Yeah.
especially in the indies, fucking throwing yourself on the ground for a fucking hot dog and a
Well,
handshake.
yeah, especially if you're working under Vince McMahon and doing the things that he wants you to do. So,
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's all messed up. I mean, look at like one of the best feuds from us growing up was like Matt Hardy and Edge, and like
Oh yeah, just
that's a real life thing that was already messed up, and then you got guys like Vince McMahon like let's make it an angle. It's like yeah,
well,
that's
as far as
personal.
I know, they were both cool about it after,
See,
like, because
I've
this
heard
happened
mixed
like,
on it. Yeah.
I heard like months after it was like months after it, and they were kind of over it. But
Yeah, but still, though, like some things is like it's kind of messed up. But
anyway, so let's get into the meat and the potatoes of it, I guess. Did you watch Raw?
I definitely didn't fast forward through half of it, but I did watch it.
Yeah, well, I watched the whole thing. Uh, I guess the biggest news coming out of it is we got new tag champs in Finn Balor and JD McDonough. Yeah, JD McDonough.
Yeah, and that's one like again. There's gonna be if you're watching this, there's gonna be a separate video kind of tied to this one because like not as much the winners but the losers as like just briefly just to go over like what happened to the New Day heel turn like that like where to go. We literally turned him heel with Biggie, which was like one of the greatest segments in so long, and then it's just like a couple random title defenses, and then they just got hit by the Wheel of Judgment Day. Because literally, it's just
Yeah,
it's literally the Wheel of Judgment Day. It's like what two members of Judgment Day are gonna win the tag titles this time?
yeah, it was.
Like, right, I didn't see it coming. Cause I assumed there was gonna be more to this New Day heel turn,
I,
but like,
I didn't see it coming either. I thought it was a really good match.
oh yeah,
Uh, they worked it well considering both factions are heels. So,
yep.
uh,
It would be
but
nice
other
if we had more than two tag teams on Raw though.
thank
That'd
thank
be
you.
great.
I don't know
That
where the
like
fuck
that
the Vikings have been.
I don't know, but the SmackDown tag team division is so good. Like all's like top 6 tag teams I can watch all week, like every week. But the Raw, it's just like I said, it's whatever iteration of Judgment Day you're gonna get, New Day, and then the Viking Raiders for like the 1 week a year they show up.
Yeah, it was what it was. Gunther did a promo, if I remember right, and he came out and pretty much told Goldberg, "I'm ending your career, and there's nothing you can do about it."
Mm-hmm.
Which Gunther, I gotta say, when he first came in, he got so much hype. Like back when he was in coming off the Indies and was in NXT UK,
Mm-hmm.
he had so much hype, and I'm like, I'm a visual guy, so if you don't look, I'm sorry, you could be the toughest motherfucker in the world. If you don't look appealing, I'm not gonna gravitate towards it. And Gunther, you got to look at him. All right. One of my big pet peeves with wrestlers, if you're wearing trunks and you don't have knee pads, it just looks wrong.
Yeah.
And he came to WWE, black trunks, no knee pads, no wrist tape, and he looked like a big baby. Is what he looked like.
Yeah, I can see
looks
what
like
you
a
mean.
big chubby baby.
Mm.
And I understand, like, he chops the hell out of people, and I love it. I love that, and he proved me wrong. He got into way better shape, and just he's been on a tear. And you know what? He's gotten better on the mic because that promo, nothing bad to say about it. I wouldn't say I'm hyped to see the match because
You don't want to see Bill Goldberg at 77 years old come back for one last match again?
he's not 77.
I know he's not.
He's like
it feels like
he's
he's
56.
It feels like he's 77.
As
long as he listen. As long as this all has a happy ending and not have some crazy Bill Goldberg comes back and wins again, I'll be fine.
All right, this match goes one of two ways.
Instant spears.
Either Goldberg gets a spear, goes for a jackhammer, can't get him up, and then Gunther just destroys him, and then wins. Or Goldberg wins, and Seth Rollins cashes in Money in the Bank.
Right.
It wins the world title.
I mean, I don't see it, but at least for me, for Gunther, it's kind of weird because I didn't really I don't really watch a lot of indie stuff or follow a lot of indie stuff, and I didn't watch like UK NXT or that, so like I didn't see him before he got big until after I already seen him on the main roster where he's already in like a lot better shape. So like, dude, I've always like just like loved his work because like to me it feels like, you know, old fashioned, again, ring general, and it makes it feel that way. But I remember the first time I seen a picture of what he had looked like before, I'm like, dude, if I seen that guy for the first time instead of the Gunther that I knew, I definitely would have had a different opinion. But you could tell he worked his tail off to get in shape. His promos, his promos are getting better, like all the time.
Yeah. So I only see this match going, like I said, one of two ways, and I prefer the first one because if they took the belt off of Jay, to get to just do this match, I'm assuming the only reason they're doing this match, the only reason they're doing this match for the title, is because for some reason every time Goldberg wrestles, he has to wrestle for a world title. Right. I don't know why.
No idea.
But Jay was over like Rover.
Like honestly, this match was a big enough draw without a title. The only thing I don't understand with this match is why are we announcing it as his last match? Why didn't we do like a Ric Flair, retirement match or something like that? You know, if he loses, he retires. If he wins, he gets the title. To me, that would have been a cooler stipulation other than the awkward way they've done it now. Because now it's like, well, now if you win, like, what are you gonna do? It's like, well, it puts me in a predicament. Why can't you just be like, hey, he's coming back for a run? And then, retirement match.
All you had to do was just fucking the week Goldberg came out and said, "You're next" in Atlanta. All you had to do was Gunther come out the next week and say, "You want a shot at me? You can have it, but if I win, you retire."
Mm-hmm. And I feel that's
all they had to do. And they didn't. They didn't do that. They're just like, "Yep, here you go."
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just because they don't really give a crap about Goldberg, but he was promised this match, so.
Mm-hmm. But too, then that's the other issue for me. Like again, as lots of other wrestling fans, I listen the Saturday night main event like a couple years ago, whatever, when they first started doing it was cool. But can we like have more than 2 weeks for building events, please? Because like I swear, every time we turn a corner, we have a PLE. Or we have the 70s Saturday main event popping around to the point where now we're supposedly ending John Cena's final year at Saturday night main event, that would just be an embarrassment.
I think they should go back to doing brand specific pay-per-views.
Agreed.
That way first off, they gotta do a brand split properly. You can't fucking have CM Punk wrestle Cena because for the SmackDown title, they gotta go proper brand split, but
Yes,
they
agreed.
don't. They don't because Raw is the main show, and you can't have the top guys wrestling on SmackDown. But
Gotta give
the
Netflix that money.
but then the main championship is on SmackDown.
Yeah, I miss the old days because again, I know this is like a split down the middle. Like there's people that just feel there should be no brand split, and then obviously there's like us who I agree with it. But again, like the problem is whether you're for the brand split or you're against it, nobody is for whatever this is because it's like, oh yeah, we have drafts, we brand split, but yet everyone interferes on every show and da da da. Like back in the day, like you sat down, you watched Monday Night Raw, you watched Monday Night Raw, you know, you watched Friday Night SmackDown. It was its own baby. And like if there was an appearance like cross, you know, 'cause I didn't get to watch SmackDown enough, but like you know, Money in the Bank guy shows up on Raw, like it was a big deal because like dude, that's a SmackDown guy. Like what's he doing over here? Like the loyalty was just it was so cool, and I don't want to hear there's not enough talent because there's so much talent out there.
They have more talent than ever.
There is no reason you cannot have a full tried and true SmackDown and Raw show with independent pay per views and treat them not like Evolution, which I'm sure we'll get into quick before we finish.
They should go. Well, we're gonna get into Evolution because
someone has to.
I was right. Because I was right. Anyway, so they should go every other month. So January doesn't count because Royal Rumble.
Yeah, right. Yeah, WrestleMania season is kind of its own baby.
Yeah, all right. But February, you have a Raw pay-per-view. March, SmackDown pay-per-view. Then WrestleMania is a joint show. And then the next month Raw, the following month SmackDown until you get to SummerSlam and just go back and forth. That way you get 6 to 8 weeks of build. And then if you're going to throw in a Saturday night's main event, that's when you do like the shit you're not going to put on the pay-per-view. Like, oh, we're going to do the women's US title, or we're going to do this tag team title match or whatever. Right. Because
to me too, if you're gonna like the Saturday main events, I think it would be cooler if you would mainly like incorporate like NXT and stuff like that into it. More of a mixed bag show.
Yeah,
because to me all Saturday night main event feels like to me is like what was the name of that old what the heck was the name of that old one they used to have? I can't remember. Main event. That's all it feels like. It just feels like a main event.
Well, main event was a weekly show. They still around. I think it's on.
Is
it
really? People watch
it's
that?
On no, they don't.
Okay.
But it's still around. Like it's. But well, actually, yeah, it's still around because that's where Karrion Kross wrestles.
Oh, he does actually wrestle there.
Yeah, he had a match a couple weeks, I think, ago. I saw it somewhere.
I honestly didn't realize that was still a show. That's crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess we'll go back to some of the stuff that happened on Raw. Speaking of Karrion Kross, Sami Zayn is getting ready for his match with Seth Rollins' group, and Karrion Kross comes up and beats him up, and I'm like, what are you beating him up for? And you're a fucking loser. You know, if you would have won at the pay-per-view, I would have taken you more seriously, but you're a loser. Sammy beat you. If Sammy won with a distraction roll-up, or you know, you hit your head on the post or whatever, and he rolled you up, and that's the only way he was able to win.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is another one of those Triple H like slow builds, which slow builds are great for some things, but the amount of weeks we've been watching this Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross thing, like it's got to be pushing like 3 or 4 months now, and it's just like do something with it. Like you just had a match, do something with it, or like move on. I don't know.
Dude, slow build. Fucking Karrion Kross is the definition of you'll have this on those big jobs. He's the definition of that. He's been walking around since his group disappeared, and even before that. And you got people speculating online. He's like, oh, you got to pay attention to Kross. Whoever he's talking to, whatever their hair looks like, he does his hair the same way. It's all psychological. And I'm like, if that's how he's getting on TV, fucking have him do the women's hair while he's at it, I guess. You know,
You know, TikTok.
It's fucking. Speaking of TikTok, fucking. Like I said, I got really into like the indies back in like 2016.
Mm-hmm.
There was a guy in the British wrestling scene who did the TikTok gimmick way better. Like it's not even original, and it wasn't like an hourglass. Which here's the thing for it: it doesn't tick.
Wow.
An
You've heard
hourglass,
it. You've heard it
hourglass,
here first. You've heard it here
hourglasses do
first.
not tick and or talk. No, but there was this guy on the British Indies. I think his name was Joseph Connors. I think his name was,
Mm-hmm.
and his promos were he was in like an all white room, and he would just cut a promo and he'd go tick tock, and they'd actually have a clock like swaying back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, unlike Karen Cross who walks around and acts retarded.
That he does.
But I guess we were wrong. He didn't want to take. It's not that he didn't want to take bumps. It was just that was a rumor going around. Well, how do rumors get started?
Yeah. Yeah. That's not something that just comes out of left field, but to each
Yeah,
his own, I
he
guess.
didn't. He did an interview saying that wasn't true at all. So
So what? So
I
what
don't
we're
know.
saying is one of our videos. We go back and watch old matches. Where I'm gonna have to find a few of his and take a looks.
Fucking
I,
might
I,
have to
I
find
I
it.
would I would say his new matches, but you know I don't have enough years in my life to wait to get a compilation from this point on.
We're gonna have to go use the Wayback Machine to find a cross match.
Exactly.
But yeah, he beat Sammy up, and that led to Sammy and Penta losing in the main event to Seth's group.
Mm-hmm. Which
I
again,
guess.
I feel like we should feel some way about it, but and I think the group could have a lot of potential, but I'm just not really feeling it. It's I feel like we just entered just a new version of something we're gonna watch every week for the next year and just be like, what's next?
Yeah, I liked it when it first happened, but they're gonna have to do something. Like they were made to look like goofs on the pay-per-view with
Yeah.
fucking
Like
what was
I'm
it
sorry.
Bronson Reed just sitting in the ring
Mm-hmm.
choking Cena for like 10 minutes.
Yeah. But I mean, like, you can't have a group of like, Seth Rollins, but then have Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker behind you, and not having them like just wipe people clean. Like,
Yeah,
their literal definitions of they should just be the hounds. Like, yeah, like they're the Billy badasses, but instead
yeah.
they're made to look weak.
I gotta say, at least Seth Rollins isn't dressing up in prom dresses anymore. But
No,
it's only been a couple weeks.
the man give him his outfits back.
Yeah, so he's dressing up like Guy Fieri now. But
It's progress.
yeah, so
I
I'm not
honestly, I
gonna.
was hoping he stayed in that all white like he had at WrestleMania. I thought that would be. That's like my favorite for him. Is that all white?
Yeah, Seth's one of those guys. Uh, like back when the Shield first came out, I remember we would argue about this
Mm-hmm.
because you were a big Roman guy,
Yep.
and I told you I was like Seth Rollins is gonna break out, and I was like he's the best. He's the best out of the three members, and in some ways he is, but I'm kind of getting real sick of him at this point. Like, he's got to go away.
Yeah, like
And
he's one of my favorites, but his and again, it's when you're like a main draw for a long time, like your stuff is just gonna get stale over time, and it's not even always necessarily on their fault. It's just the booking and stuff. But you can't. I feel like we just keep doing the same thing over and over again, just with different people at this point.
yeah, that's the problem with the shows nowadays. Is no, there's not enough room to breathe. If that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is on every show except
Mm-hmm.
Cross. Cross is not on,
No.
but everybody is on every show instead of like if Seth was coming out every other week. Like, and I get this is like the top story right now,
Right.
right? So all right, what if he took like 1 week off a month?
Mm-hmm.
Where we like, oh, the like we get a promo package for them, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like, oh yeah, guys, we're spending money because we're the big guys, right? And
Mm-hmm.
we're at the club, and Bronson and
Yep.
fucking
No, I get
Braun,
that.
and that way they're
You
not
know.
on TV taking up 20 minutes of time.
Yep. And plus, he can be the heel
And
version. And be like, listen, I only need to be there. He's like, I got my dogs doing their thing, and
yeah, and then you just have it's not the Shield, so they're not running roughshod. It's just
No,
another
it's more of a
just another
strategic.
group.
It's more of just a strategic, which is what it's supposed to be. Strategic. A strategic group shouldn't be there every second of every match. They should be, most of their takeouts should be in the back or like more stuff like that. But I mean, it's like granted, I don't want it ever to the extreme, but as a non-champion, it's like Roman Reigns. Like, listen, if the dude showed up every week, like, granted, he would still be Roman Reigns, but the rarity does make it a lot more. And it's good for some people and it's bad for others. Like, some people, like Karrion Kross, if you don't see him for 3 weeks, you're just gonna forget he exists, and then you're gonna see him like, oh, there's that guy.
Yeah.
But Seth Rollins, a Roman Reigns, hell, a John Cena, a CM Punk, like, those guys can disappear for a few weeks, come back, and it's just like, a craziness.
Yeah. So, like I said, just Seth hasn't taken a lot of time off either. So
No,
it's just like out of the top guys, he's the one we see the most. Yes. Like we don't see him as much as we see Punk. We don't see him as much as we see Cena, obviously, or Roman.
Right.
It's Seth's got to pretty much carry everything, and that's a noble thing.
He's a workhorse, and that like I said, I get that. That's part of his character. It's like, he's the workhorse, but yet you got guys like Punk and that coming back, or yada yada. Like, and I get that because like I get there's that like actual like genuine beef and shit like that there. But like because I mean, look, he was supposed to be out for a lot longer for that injury he had when he vacated. Well, when they finally give up his world championship there the first time around. Well, the new world heavyweight. The fake Goldie, as I say. The fake Goldie.
Yeah.
The great value Goldie.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, right. I think there's excitement to come. It's just, I love slow builds, but like faster would be a little nicer.
There's a difference between slow and fucking glacial speed,
You mean like the Austin Theory heel turn?
You mean face turn?
Or face turn, yeah. His face turn that we've been waiting on. Although, if anyone knows, I don't remember if this was a Raw or the Raw before, so I apologize if I'm 1 week off. But what's up with like Austin, like Grayson Waller was just like out with a New Day, like acting like they already broke up and stuff, basically. And it's like we didn't get no angle, no nothing other than just the same old repetitive slow build of Austin Theory finally turning face. Like, did he just turn face just without anyone knowing now all of a sudden, or like what the fuck?
I haven't seen him.
Yeah, I see him more on TikTok than I do on wrestling, and that's probably not a good thing.
Yeah, I haven't seen him on, like, I don't follow. Well, I follow social medias and shit, but I haven't seen him, so I couldn't. If it's not on TV, I don't really pay much attention to it.
But anyway,
trying to think. Oh,
so
before we get to the pay-per-views and Saturday Night's main event this weekend, we have a news with Chad Gable. He is out with a shoulder.
Yes,
he's out with a shoulder injury. But fortunately, El Grande Americano
is stronger than ever.
Stronger than ever, and he grew 1.5 feet.
At least, yeah, it was miraculous. Like it's almost like he's seen one of his friends just knocked down, and he's just like, "I got you, bro." It's cool.
Yeah,
it's cool to see.
And I just gotta say that's the power of the American spirit.
And all I want to say to everyone out there who's trying to say that, oh, they're the same person, da 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 da. Yeah, who's joking now? Who's joking now? Because guess what?
Yeah,
Chad Gable's hurt. He can't be him. duh, like we
Of
said
course.
all along. So like I don't understand why.
Yeah.
I just hope that these fake newses can stop now. That'd be great.
Yeah. These horrible people just dragging El Grande's name through the mud.
So get well soon, Chad Gable and El Grande. I can't wait to see what more things you have to come.
Yep. But we do have a Saturday night's main event coming up this Saturday with Goldberg versus Gunther and
That's the only match
whatever
I
other match.
know. That is literally the only
I
match I know on this card. I don't even know if there's
I-
another confirmed match or not.
Me neither.
There's gonna be one match. It's gonna go on. It's gonna be a 2-hour Iron Man match between Gunther and Goldberg.
That'll be like terrible. But by the time this is posted, it's probably already over. So maybe I was right with my prediction at the end of the match. Other than that, we have Evolution on Sunday.
Another one that I can name like 2 matches.
That's all I can name too. Well, no, I can name a third one, but I don't know who the people are because I don't watch NXT. But I know there's a women's NXT title match. But JC Jane is the champion. I don't know who she's wrestling.
I couldn't even begin to tell you. I know. So that one I have nothing to talk about because I don't even know who they're fighting. I ain't gonna lie.
All right. But we did find out after New Day won the or before. I don't know. New Day won, or not New Day. Judgment Day won the tag titles. And then we found out that with Live Out, that Roxanne will be taking her place as one half of the women's tag champions with Raquel. And they will defend those at Evolution against a team from SmackDown, a team from Raw, and a team from NXT.
Joy. That'll be tag teams.
Yeah, so...
And how many of them will be an actual tag team and not 2 random superstars thrown together? Will be probably, all of them.
I have a feeling that one of them will be the Bella Twins.
See, yeah, I think so. I don't know who they'd be technically representing though.
Probably Raw, because Nikki Bella came out on Raw like 2 weeks ago.
Okay, yeah, true story.
I
really want to say I'm excited. I really do, but like,
well,
the last time I was excited about a tag team was like Cortana Chance and her tag team. I can't think what her, Cara Jade, those two.
Yeah.
But then they released them, so there's like literally no women's tag teams I actually care about.
The last women's tag team I cared about was Isla Dawn and...
Oh, yeah, and Alba Fire.
Alba Fire, and they released Isla Dawn.
Yeah, yep, that one too, yeah. Yeah, that was the other good tag team there was.
For no reason whatsoever. For no reason whatsoever, they did... Honestly, they did the Rhea Ripley thing better than Rhea Ripley, because they didn't just dress in black, they came out with a smoking fucking stick. And just looked demonic, and I was like, this is fucking awesome.
Yes. And
as for... I'm assuming Tiffany Stratton is defending the title against somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to look it up. I figure I'll figure it out on the day of the show. But we did find out on Raw, after I explicitly said on our review of Night of Champions, I'm getting sick of Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley is now getting a world title shot at Evolution because Io Sky wants to wrestle the best, blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm. And how much do you want to bet that Io's going to get buried yet again?
No, there's no reason Io wins this match.
I will be genuine. Listen, I am a Rhea Ripley fan, but even for me, I'm just like, listen, can we just please let Io win, like, and a nice decisive win too, not just some like dumb crap.
When I was honestly shocked back when Io won the title before WrestleMania, utter shocker. And I was like, well, obviously she's losing it back to Rhea Ripley, and then she didn't. And I was like, well, she's losing it at WrestleMania, and then she didn't. So now that Rhea Ripley's cleared stuff up with the Judgment Day,
Again,
and because that took forever.
honestly, I don't even think it's done yet. To be honest with you, listen, I don't even want to speak this into existence. I really, really don't. But I'm gonna call it now before I even do my predictions video. Roxanne's gonna cost, or not Rock. Well, it could be Roxanne. Either Roxanne or Raquel will cost Rhea at Evolution, and the Judgment Day. Rhea continues, and she'll just bring in some random tag team partner. I guess I don't know. Although you know it's true. You know it's true. And then they'll finally get over that feud, and then Liv's going to come back and feud with Rhea again. And we're just going to watch this for the next, 2 years. You can tell me when
I don't
wrong.
know what... I don't know. Well, I think when Liv comes back, Roxanne will have Dom wrapped around her finger, and they're going to
we've already
do that feud.
We'll do that same exact feud again. And then, although the one thing I was seeing, and this could be a weird world, is we have a returning Liv to save Rhea at some point, and have a Rhea and Liv taking on Roxanne and Raquel. That could be interesting.
I don't know what's worse. Whether we have, whether Rhea is the world champion or as a tag champion, because honestly, like I said, I'm over Rhea. I'm tired of it, and I'm like the one guy that's kind of tired of it. I'm just like, go away. If it was one segment a week, I'd get over it. But it's like,
she has the Charlotte Flair treatment right now. Like
she cuts a promo. When Charlotte Flair would be all over the show, Charlotte gets a lot of shit, but she'd come out and cut a promo, and then she'd be done for the night.
Yeah.
Fucking Rhea comes out, cuts a promo, gets a match, does the match, gets screwed over in said match, has a backstage segment where she demands another match with so-and-so, blah, 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 and then she may or may not come back in a fourth segment to kick somebody's ass.
Yes. This is how this works.
So I'm going to say Rhea wins the title because Rhea has to win the title.
So I was just looking, and I'm not sure if this is true, but they're saying that Dominic versus AJ is actually supposed to be a Saturday night main event. Which, if so, that would steal the show compared to Old Man versus Gunther and whatever other magical match. Like I said, so at this point, again, this is before SmackDown officially airs, but well, technically we're recording it during. We're just not watching it at the moment. We'll be catching up, but. 2 matches confirmed for what I assume is at least a 5-match card. Like, it has to have at least 5 matches, or else, there's no way. What are you gonna do? Have 7,000 commercials? Oh wait, they could because it's WWE.
Yeah. I don't know. They're probably gonna put some stuff on it from SmackDown. I'm sure they'll have what is it, the SmackDown tag titles on the line or something.
Yeah, in some form of capacity. But again, that's the other problem. Though. Like, why would you want to waste a match on Saturday night's main event when you're gonna have only 3 weeks then afterward to rebuild for SummerSlam, a 2-night event, which I don't see where we have 2 nights worth of matches, but well, 2 nights of quality matches that are not just Monday Night Raw matches.
Yeah, but. I just remembered there's another match for Evolution. It's going to be Becky Lynch versus Lyra versus
Bayley.
Yep. Because Bayley and Lyra went to a draw.
Mm-hmm. I personally want to see Lyra win this. I don't think she's gonna. I don't think she's gonna. I think Becky's gonna win.
Becky's winning it. I like Lyra. She hasn't a thing where she comes out, has a cool entrance,
Mm-hmm.
music, the woo thing,
Yep.
uh,
Like honestly,
which
for me, like this match is one of the few matches in a while, especially a triple threat. If Becky wins this, I'm not mad. If Lyra
yeah.
wins this, I'm not mad. If Bailey wins this, I'm not mad. This will be literally one where it's just gonna be. I'm gonna sit there and enjoy it, and I think it's gonna be a hell of a match.
So, I guess I'm gonna be the dick on this one again then. All right, if Becky wins, understandable. She's gonna probably hold that until maybe SummerSlam, probably longer. Lyra wins, doesn't make sense to me. I like Lyra. She has a knack for having a dead crowd in front of her and them not reacting to Jack, and then somehow she gets them back into the match.
Mm-hmm.
So, along with Rhea, I'm freaking sick of Bailey.
Yeah, but Bailey's been gone for a while.
Has she?
Yeah, Bailey's been gone for quite a while. Like she was gone for over a year.
Was she?
Yeah, Bailey's been
No, she
gone,
wasn't.
right? Or no, I'm
No.
sorry. No, I'm sorry. She was gone at WrestleMania, so it's been
She
like
she was
3 or 4
taken out
months. I'm sorry. That's right. I forgot about
3 or 4 months. She was gone for like 3 weeks.
No, it was more than that, wasn't it?
It was like a month.
See, like I don't know. To me, it doesn't feel like though she's been overwhelmed.
See, you
so.
can't tell because it all drags.
Well, everything
But-
drags anymore. Like I said, that's unfortunately it's just so much different nowadays. Watching any of this,
But maybe it's my old age. But I haven't liked Bailey's character pretty much since
I
she
like.
started Damage Control.
I was gonna say
which was-
I loved heel. I loved her heel with Damage Control. The second she turned babyface and went against Damage Control, has been kind of all downhill for her. But
yeah, and
like I said,
even
I still
though-
don't mind seeing her win though. Like to me, it doesn't really because like she didn't get a good. They didn't give her a good run at all when she was a babyface. Like to me, she should be turning heel.
dude, I was at SummerSlam last year when she defended against Nyla.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Nyla, not Nyla.
Naya.
What the hell? Nyla Rose's AEW. Nia Jax. The crowd didn't go wild when Nia won, but she got a really good she got a reaction out of me when she won the title. Me and the lady sitting next to me were standing up dancing when
Listen, I
Nia won.
I know Nia gets a lot of crap, and I know that she's
gotten a lot better.
I know she's had her issues in the past, but I honestly feel like she's done a lot better job. Is she still perfect? No, but you can honestly see that she's actually trying to make strides to do better.
She's
I also like the new her. Like if she does have like a little bit of a screw up, like her facial recognition, like she'll acknowledge it now and like kind of like joke with it or something like that. Like not serious mess ups, but I don't know. I've enjoyed her character a lot more. I feel like she's actually finally like really growing.
Yeah. She when she got released in 2020 or whatever it was, and a lot of people thought she was just gonna go the way of the dodo, and in that time she put in the work and came back and
like don't get me wrong. You were here for me when she returned to Rumble, and it's kind of like, yeah, really, like we're gonna do this again. But yeah, no, she's definitely been a lot better this time around. I think she owes the wake up call she needed.
But I think with all the horsewomen, like Becky kind of gets a cringe out of me half the time now too.
Well,
but with all the NXT horsewomen, there's
so much NXT talent for the women's, like Stephanie Vaquer, like
I said, we're in a transition period where it's these women are getting up there,
which is why Evolution should have been amazing, and it's just it's gonna underperform. Like literally, like the point of like Evolution is like the past, the present, the future. But we're not really including the past. Like there's a couple of like future versus like futures, but like to me this should have been really the time for like breakout NXT stars taking on like established superstar, like established current stars, And I know
Yeah.
like they don't have a lot of legends on the show, but yet Kelly reached out and like was like basically begging to be on the show, and they wouldn't put her on, which to me is like completely wild. Like, don't get me wrong, I know she wasn't the greatest wrestler because that was a different wrestling time, but like, no, it's kind of
Yeah.
nuts to me. Like that is
So
she's a definition of the past.
yeah, like I said, I forgot Evolution was even coming along. I was surprised I knew there was 4 matches on the show.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing that it'll be a good show because
Yeah, it'll be good.
they all know how to wrestle. But
Mm-hmm.
am I gonna care?
Is it gonna live up to the hype that it should have been attempting to live up to? Not even close.
Is it gonna
We
live
could have
up
did
to the
so
hype
much
of the
more.
first one? Probably not.
No, we could have done something special with it. And why would you put it again a couple weeks before SummerSlam? Makes just no booking sense. But
Yeah,
we're talking about the same company that keeps shipping everything to Saudi now.
yeah.
We keep shipping our women. I'm shocked we're not having a pay-per-view. And could you imagine having Evolution in Saudi Arabia? I could see WWE doing something like that.
Well, the Royal Rumble's in Saudi Arabia next year.
So. Oh, I know.
So that's going to be 30 women in spacesuits.
Oh my goodness. Just what? No, it'll be like 40. We're gonna do like that. That crazy Royal, like the 40-man Royal Rumble again. I don't want to speak that into existence.
The fact that we have, I understand, I don't want to get into this. The women's Royal Rumble match, I understand. You want to make it a spectacle, but the fact that it is as big as the men's Rumble in terms of people you have in it.
Listen, it's hard enough to fill the men's with 30 people, especially like this is where I differ because everyone's always oh, well, we want to keep the current superstars, da da da. Like, there's nothing cool. There's nothing cooler to me. Like, you should have at least a couple legends still. Like, I miss the days of like the random legend popping. Like, I agree, there was a point in time where they overdid it, but I would much rather have a legend or two pop in than like where we had for a few years in a row, where it's like just 7 tag teams, where it's like, hey, there's 14 people. We'll just take 7 tag teams.
Yeah. But I'm kind of on the fence about this because I remember when the first time you get a surprise, right? The first time you get a Rumble surprise, you're like, oh my god, it's fucking Kevin Nash. And you're like, whoa. And then like 3 years later, it's like we get Michael Cole, Jerry the King Lawler, and Booker T in the same Royal Rumble
Like I said,
match.
there is overdoing of it. There is overdoing, and again, it's a fine line. To me, you should have a couple. You should have a couple, in my opinion. Like I said, a couple call-ups, da-da-da. But, like... And the other thing is, please don't let us know people that are going to be in a Rumble and then release them at 30. Cody Rhodes, talking to you. I have no idea
Was
who's
he
going to come
announced
out
for
at number 30. Yeah, dude, that's the year.
Oh.
Yeah, they're like, oh, yeah, he's going to be in the Rumble. And it literally got to... There's 29 superstars in the ring, and he wasn't there. And then the countdown was coming. It's like, I wonder who this could be. I have no idea. Like, could you just take like my favorite Rumble moment of all time, which is John Cena coming out at number 30? Could you imagine if the SmackDown before we got, well, John Cena's returning to the Royal Rumble?
Yeah. Well, my favorite return was Edge in 2020. I remember we were watching it at your house, and I literally jumped off the couch and I was freaking screaming. So
yeah, that one is the other one that's right there. Yes, that was.
And I knew he was gonna be there too because he had posted a picture of him looking at his gear, and I'm like, he's coming out. But
you think you know me?
Anyway, I don't even know why we're on this topic. So I guess we're pretty much done because we're not going to review AEW because neither of us watched it. But
exactly,
I will be watching that and hopefully having a review up for you guys sometime in the next couple days solo. As for Bayley versus Lyra versus Becky, Becky's winning, no doubt.
I agree. I think Becky's winning. Yeah. To me, there's not really any doubts on that one. I shouldn't say there's no doubts, but I do think.
I do know some spoilers for what happened on AEW Dynamite, and I didn't watch it, but I'm going to watch it because to me it's funny. I'm past the point of being angry about it. But let's just say that Bailey's best friend is I to be honest, I don't think she's losing anytime soon. So I'm really excited to actually watch it and review it for you guys. So did we want to end it here or what do we want to do?
I think for this one, yeah, we can end it there. I think that's a good spot. Those of you, if there's anyone out there still watching this, hey, you're a saint because
Certified G.
yeah, just write. You get a gold star in the comments if you're here. But yeah, again, we have lots of content excited to come out. Again, Mike or Creampuff will be on the again work on the AEW reviews for the most part. I'll be trying to get most of Raw and SmackDown, but as you'll see, we'll have lots of individual, lots of collab stuff, all kinds of stuff coming up. So make sure you're subscribing and hitting that bell because again, there's gonna be content for everyone. Whether you're into the long form content like this, if you're just into like really short stuff, quizzes, da 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 da, whatever, everything's gonna be coming your way, like a snowball of just content.
All right. So until next time, be well, stay safe, have a good one.
Peace.